Sometimes we can get ourselves all tied into knots. So, how do we get unstuck? Let's talk about that today. Sometimes the trickiest thing about feeling stuck is that we're not exactly sure why we're stuck. And the moment we start to think, I have no idea why I'm stuck, our ego and our mind start searching for problems that may or may not be there. So suddenly our brain is starting to tell us all sorts of stories about why we might be stuck, how we might have gotten stuck, whether we need to feel ashamed about being stuck. And it can give us this sense of urgency that we need to immediately get ourselves moving from the place that we're at. Now, we are all meant to have points of resistance at times, and it helps us to slow down and actually realize what's happening for us. Sometimes we're stuck because we're tired or we're hungry. And other times we're stuck because we need to make big life changes. And I don't want you to be jumping into a big life change if really you just haven't had a good night's sleep in 3 nights. So one of the first things we can do is recognize the uncomfortable feeling of stuckness in our body and get curious about where that lives, why it's there, but more importantly, just noticing that it is there. We can get very hung up on why something is happening and what we need to do about it versus just sitting with the feeling. So noticing that sensation, being able to sit with it for more than a few minutes allows us to discern whether we actually are stuck and need to do something about it, or whether we're stuck and it's just a matter of hunger, boredom, something like this that will pass on its own. So what I'd like to do then is just to do a quick little visualization around this. So I would invite you to just close your eyes just for a few minutes. And I'd like you to just take a couple big deep breaths in and out, settling into your space. And I'd like you to bring to mind a time in your life, either currently or in the past, where you have felt stuck. And just noticing in your body where that feeling of sensation of stuckness lives. Trying not to judge that. It could be in our neck, our chest, our stomach, our legs. It doesn't matter. Just noticing. And I would actually like you to visualize this sensation as a tangled ball of string. And I'd like you to make the tangled ball of string even bigger so that we can really get a sense in our body of how that presents for us. Allowing ourselves to sit with it and to know that we can survive it. And then I'd like you to visualize that ball of string in that area and start to imagine making it bigger as you tease it apart, like untying knots. See if you can create some space within that feeling of stuckness in your body. Feeling that space created so that we can allow ourselves the space to feel more creative and more open and less judgmental about where we are. Approaching that stuckness with a sense of compassion and love and tenderness. And in that space that you create, can you get a sense of whether this is a sensation that we need to do something about, or whether it's a sensation that we can just sit with? And when you're ready, you can open your eyes And I'd encourage you to maybe write down or take a couple notes about anything that happened for you while you were doing that exercise. Again, just using your intuition. So writing down the first thing that comes to you versus analyzing the stuckness. I hope this has created some space and some self-compassion for the times that we all get a little stuck. If you found this helpful, I would love it if you could like or subscribe. If you have future requests, please leave them for me in the comments below. And thank you so much for spending your time with me.